Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to try and unlock what a PhD in computer science and engineering is all about. You know, a lot of people wonder what it's really for, what kind of doors it actually opens. Well, we're about to see that it's so much more than just a degree. It's pretty much a key to inventing the future.
Let's just start with this powerful idea right here. Getting a PhD in this field fundamentally changes your relationship with tech. It takes you from just being a consumer and completely transforms you into a creator. And that right there is the whole game.
All right, so here's the roadmap for our journey today. First, we'll talk about what it really means to be an innovator. Then, we'll look at the actual path you take to become an expert. After that, we'll see how that expertise takes you from the lab to a leadership role. Then, of course, the real return on that investment. And finally, we'll help you figure out if this path is actually the right one for you.
So let's kick things off with that huge shift in mindset, moving beyond just using the tools of tomorrow to actually being the one who builds them.
You see, this one sentence really captures the whole point. It's all about getting to a level of understanding that's so deep, you're not limited by what already exists. Instead, you're the one who's empowered to create what comes next. That shift is what really sets a PhD apart from any other degree.
So, how does that transformation actually happen? How do you go from student to expert? Well, in this next part, we're going to break down the process. And, spoiler, it goes way beyond the classroom. And this is the absolute heart of it. A PhD isn't about memorizing what's already in textbooks, it's about writing the next chapter yourself. You're literally venturing into uncharted territory to create brand new knowledge, to find answers to questions that people haven't even figured out how to ask yet.
And this is basically how it's done. It's a structured journey, not just random exploration. It all starts with really deep, fundamental research. From that solid base, you might invent a completely new algorithm. Then, you take that algorithm and use it to crack a really complex, real-world problem. And finally, and this is key, you share what you found with the world by publishing it. That cycle is exactly how you become a true expert.
And what are you building during this whole process? Well, you're not just learning theory. You are mastering the most cutting-edge, high-demand skills on the entire planet. We're talking about AI, machine learning, quantum computing, robotics. These are the skills that companies and universities are desperately looking for right now. Okay, so you've put in the work, you've gained this incredible expertise. Now what? Let's look at how these skills pave the way for a career that starts in the research lab but leads directly to the top. Think of it like this. After a PhD, two major doors just swing wide open for you. On one side, you've got academia. You could become a professor or a research scientist, literally shaping the next generation of innovators. And on the other side, you've got industry, with these incredible roles like R&D engineer or AI strategist at top companies, solving huge, real-world challenges.
And let's be really clear here. The industry path doesn't just stop at being a scientist in a lab coat. No way. Tech giants, we're talking Google, Microsoft, Meta, they actively hunt for PhDs to lead their most ambitious, game-changing projects. So the path is a natural progression into leadership, whether that's as a chief technology officer, a research team lead, or, hey, even as the founder of your own startup.
So we've covered the knowledge, the prestige, the opportunities, but what about the money? Let's talk numbers, because a PhD is a huge investment of your time and effort, and you want to know about the return, right?
Just take a look at this number for a second. That is not a small figure, and it really shows you the incredible value the market puts on this level of expertise.
So yeah, that number, that's the potential annual salary for the top scientists in fields like AI and machine learning. So while a PhD is definitely a long-term investment, the financial payoff can be absolutely huge. It's a direct reflection of the demand for people who can solve the world's toughest problems.
Okay, after hearing about all these incredible possibilities, we've come to the single most important question of all. Let's make this personal. Is this journey actually the right one for you? I want you to ask yourself this, and be honest. Does the idea of just diving deep into a single, complicated problem for hours, maybe days, or even weeks, does that sound exciting? Or does that sound exhausting? Because that passion for getting lost in a problem is absolutely essential.
And what about this? Does the thrill of discovery, of being the very first person on Earth to find a particular solution, does that genuinely motivate you? Because that excitement is the fuel that's going to power you through the whole research process.
So let's just sum it all up.
A PhD is an absolutely fantastic path if your dream is a career in academia or in high-end industry R&D, and if you have a ton of patience and a real love for research. But it's also really important to be realistic. If your main goal is just to get a software development job as quickly as possible, a PhD is probably not the most direct route for you.
At the end of the day, the future isn't some fixed place we're all heading toward. It's something we are actively building every single day. So the real question this all leaves us with is this: which part of that unwritten future are you going to invent? The choice is yours.